morning, Zion Dew family. My name is Gideon Gichamba. It's been such a long while, but I bless God that I'm back to Zion Dew, and this week we'll be breaking the bread of life, and it's my prayer and hope that you will be blessed. We'll be talking about something I'm calling conquering our mountain. If we are in church, I would have asked you to tap your neighbor and give them a high five and tell them conquering our mountain. We are going to focus on the book of Numbers, and we are going to look at chapter number 13 and chapter number 14, those two chapters. And in today's session, I just want to do some sort of introduction and lay some background on what we'll be discussing in the next few sessions. The book of Numbers is a book of just before. You know, if you remember the story of the children of Israel, they had wandered in the wilderness for a period of 40 years. So in the book of Numbers is a just before book, before they enter the promised land. And it's a book when they are organizing themselves into tribes, into groups. It's a strategic book because it's in this book that we see Moses sending the spies to go and do some sort of, in geography we used to call it reconnaissance, just to do a pre-visit, get to familiarize yourself with the land you are going to conquer. That's the kind of book we are talking about, yeah? And I don't know whether you are in a place in life where you feel you are just before something. You're just before a breakthrough. You are just before something major happening. That's what was just about to happen in the life of the children of Israel. Remember, you've been in the wilderness all your life, and now you're preparing to enter the promised land. And actually, we have a group of 10 men who are already tasted and seen and felt. If we are talking about the promised land back in Exodus, it's a far off idea. No one even has an idea of what the promised land looks like. But in the book of Numbers, we have the first fruit, the first people have already entered the promised land to do some sort of a survey, and they're already back with a report. So it's a book that brings us very close to the breakthrough, to possessing the land, to conquering that mountain. And I pray that as we go through this series over the next 5 days, you will be blessed, and that you will be able to gain some insights and receive the revelation of God's word. And probably this is what you needed to conquer that mountain. This is what you needed to enter that promised land. Yeah, so we are looking at the book of Numbers being a book of just before. We are looking this book summarizing, almost summarizing the entire 40-year journey. Because in the next book, the book of Deuteronomy, it's now Moses giving a lot of instruction to the children of Israel, telling them, when you enter this promised land, remember where you've come from. Remember the book of the law. Remember the promises of God over your life. But this book of Numbers, it's a book of planning. It's a book of strategy. It's a book of preparation. We're going to look at a few segments. The first one being, we are going to look at the giants. We are going to look at the mindset. We are going to look at the role of intercession. And we're also going to look at the fruit of the womb. And my prayer is that you will be blessed. So that's a bit of introduction on what we'll be talking about in the next few sessions. And my prayer is that you will be able to tune in. My prayer is that you will be with us. You will hang around. You will share this with a friend so that we can walk this journey together. Thank you.